Alright, I think we are going live. If not live already. See? It looks like we're live. Alright. Oh man, it is Monday. Merry Christmas to all, and to all it's time for some Monday Night Livestream. Alright. Making sure my setup is okay. Let me know if everything sounds alright on your end, guys, because not gonna lie, I've probably knocked everything over at least 3 times over today. Been doing a lot of house cleaning. Oh. But we're gonna play some more Fruit of Grisaia. Grisaia no Kajitsu. It's all good? That's good. I have to, like, yeah, I had a Windows update take, finally, yesterday, or, like, post, can live stream. And so I had to reset all my, like, audio settings and stuff to make sure nothing was wrong. As long as we had the waifu squad. My waifus are all 2D. That's why they're waifus. Waifu for lifey squad. Alright, so interesting predicaments that arose. Grisaia no Kajitsu, the Fruit of Grisaia here. I did a I basically gave people free reign to tell me which girl to choose, more or less. I had a Twitter poll going, and I got a message on Discord, and I got a comment. And I had a 4-way tie. So here we are tonight going, hey, we're gonna let people decide, and going, well, I don't have a decision. But what I do have, however, is a very remarkable thing called a what do you call these? A D6. Where we're gonna roll for it. And 6:59 seems like a good time to roll. And let's see how let's see how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna roll right here. That's a reroll. Okay. I know what I rolled. Anyway, are we at 7 p.m. yet? No? Okay. Apologies in advance if I lag a little bit. I do have a window or two open. Not too worried about things going wrong though. But it is now 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. This is a animefanrk2k here with the Monday Night Livestream. We are live streaming the Fruit of Grisaia. And despite the fact it is Christmas Day as of this live stream, nothing's different, nothing changes. We're doing this per our normal. And last time I asked, basically in any way possible, including leaving comments on Facebook, on YouTube, you know, to choose whose route I should go through in the Fruit of Grisaia, and surprisingly had a 4-way tie between the 4 of the 5 girls I felt like going through, which were, I don't remember their names. It's just last week. Wow. Anyway, so I rolled a dice for it, and I think you guys will know once I get into it. But for now, It'll go right in. Yep, press that continue button. And we're gonna load this save. And let's get right into this Fruit of Grisaia. The period of the school day before classes begin is fundamentally blank, meaningless time. They say it's always best to arrive 20 minutes early, but preparing for a class takes 60 seconds at most. After that, there's not much to do other than wander around awkwardly. Alright. So, Merry Christmas to everyone here. I know it's not an opportune time to be live streaming on Christmas Day, and I will be live streaming on New Year's Day as well, so don't think that holidays have stopped me in the past. The only thing that has stopped me is literally coming back from Gen Con this year. Still, I've always imagined school life as a fairly relaxed experience. Part of me was actually wondering if a little aimless downtime might be enjoyable in this way. But unfortunately... What? Again? That slightly pitiful fantasy was shattered all too quickly. Of course I'm not going to break a sweat from any attack of Yumiko's, but being slashed at with a blade isn't the kind of pleasant breather I had in mind. Because I'm the main character. I guess she had thought it a particularly well-timed attack, judging from the shocked gaze she's directing at me as she catches her breath. Of course, given that conspicuous clicking sound and her plainly audible footsteps, she might as well have been screaming, "Here I come!" But time moves at half speed in my immediate vicinity. Giving a straight answer would be a pain, so I pull something out of my ass. Yes! Perfect. What? Yeah, I'm just screwing with you. Wow, we're starting off strong today, guys. Oh, she has a box cutter in her hand. Oh, what the heck? So waifu is missing again? By the way, Shade, I like to unfortunately inform you that I had a 4-way tie when it came to waifus, so... I rolled the dice, so we'll see which route we go now, right? Maybe it's just me, but I think trying to stab your classmate is somewhat worse. I'm pretty sure attacking people is could be considered a crime, but oh well. This woman's copy of the criminal code seems to be missing the page on attempted murder. But judging from the way she momentarily bought my nonsense, she's unexpectedly airheaded. Maybe a bit naive would be the nicer way to put it. I don't think we're forgetting your face. There's only 6 of us here. It would be harder to forget. Still glaring in my direction, Yumiko retracts the blade of her box cutter. And snorting in displeasure, leaves with a flutter of her skirt. Yeah, you know how it goes, Amane. When I return to the classroom, Anna strikes up a conversation. I guess the story of the knife assault in question has already spread around the classroom, as my problem with Yumiko seems to be common knowledge. It's not like she's doing me any harm, but I can't say I'm enjoying this. In our first encounter, I approached the stubbornly silent Yumiko in a physical sense. The outcome was her initial act of rejection. In part, that might have been the result of my own heightened wariness. Sachi's heavy-handed foreshadowing put me on guard, and I have a tendency not to trust someone I'm meeting for the first time. At that time, while I certainly felt animosity from her, it wasn't so intense as to discourage me from approaching. I like how there was a flashback. And it's like, that's only relevant if you, like, didn't watch the last episode to the end. King J, you're putting up mistletoe? Why don't you put up missile foe? Fight your opponents. By the way, King, that's literally not how mistletoe works. Can't just put up mistletoe and then force people on the internet to start kissing. That's literally not how mistletoe works. However, from our second encounter on, Yumiko bared open hostility toward me. What's worse, apparently having come to the conclusion that she wasn't a match for me barehanded, she's been swinging around the box cutter of all things. According to Amane, it seems that Yumiko has something of a habit of brandishing retractable knives at people. Wait, what? That's your habit? Oh yeah, you know, some people's habits. They tap their fingers. Other people's habits, they glance to the upper left corner when they lie. Yumiko has a tendency of brandishing retractable knives at people. Yes, normal. Of course, the goal is usually more intimidation than anything else, but speaking as the target this time, I can sense there's a part of her that's seriously trying to stab me. It's not the best feeling in the world.
ライバルとして認められたってことじゃないのかな。あの子、うちらには威嚇の意味で歯を出したりはするけど、本当に切りつけたりはしないし。
It's probably because Yuji keeps dodging. Because Yuji, unlike some people, learned how to dodge! I really prefer to avoid that kind of recognition.
いきなり接近しようとするからよ。近寄ってわからなかった？あの子の周りに強烈に張られたバリア。
Nope, didn't notice at all. Didn't notice. Didn't notice.
ユージ君って強そうに見えるけど、鈍感さは命取りになりそうね。
It's okay, it won't get me killed by a box cutter, hopefully. I'm pretty perceptive when my life's in danger, but I don't really feel that level of threat from Yumiko.
ユージ君って普通の恋愛とかはちゃんとできるの？
Well, my master did say I was exceptionally unskilled in that department.
師匠？
Hey, random Michiru. At any rate, I want to do something on Yumiko's aggressive rejection of me. For that purpose, I'll need to talk to someone familiar with her circumstances. Like the teacher or the principal. Like this girl. The attendance book in her hand as usual, our carefree principal appears. I guess Chizuru is the only one I can ask. Yep. In conclusion, Yumiko seems to hate me with a passion. So I approached this girl and she tried to slap me, so I stopped her from slapping me and I introduced myself. A wild Michiru appears. Dun 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 dun, acting all soon, but she really is bad at it. God damn it, Chizuru. Come on, be on my side. Oh, let's hear it then.
じゃないわよ。事情を知っていて暇そうなのは学園長ぐらいしかいないと思ったから聞きに来たって。
Oh.
わざわざ宣言して部屋に入ってくるとか何考えてるのよ。
I mean, it's true. I only said what I was thinking. Was I wrong?
違うわよ。一応。
Something tells me I'm not wrong. But at the same time, she doesn't want to admit it. Got it. In deference to your feelings, no matter how much I think you're lazing around, I'll keep it quietly buried in my heart from now on. Good enough?
そんなこと言われたら疑心暗鬼になるだけでしょ。
What do you want from me? Spare me the vague complaints. What's your pleasure?
だから嫌われるのよ。
Yo, when you're an airhead, man, you're airhead for life. Airhead. Do you have an idea?
なんでも。で、質問の答えだけど。
Yeah, Chizuru so far is definitely like a more natural Soon than Michiru is, and she hasn't even been that Soon to me. Michiru is just really bad at being a Soon. Makes me laugh at least. She's basically slapstick comedy relief. The principal, cup in hand, lowers herself across the sofa I'm reclining on.
榊さんはこの学園の創設以来の学生なの。
What's that weird finger pose? Like, does anybody make this pose when they're like Ichio? What is that hand pose, Chizuru? What? I'm gonna greet people like that from now on. Be like, yo, what's up? They're like, what the hell is wrong with your fingers? I'm like, I saw it in a visual novel, okay? Totally worth. This place just opened recently, right?
ポポね。一応学園の設立は今から1年前ぐらいだから。
Oh.
彼女はその時からここにいるのよ。
Oh, okay. I see. What does that have to do with her rejecting me? Before responding to my question, she takes a sip of the coffee from the cup in her hand.
自分のテリトリーに入ってくるのが怖いんでしょ。
Oh, does she consider this place her own? Is that why? And all of us just kind of showed up one day? Frightening.
そう。
Jesus, that hand pose.
これまでは自分の認識できるものしかここには来なかったのに、いきなり異性の、それも得体の知れない人間が自分の近くに入り込んできた。
I was pretty sure that Amane said something about her brandishing her knife at the other girls too, but I'm the first one she tried to slash. Whatever. Principal Tachibana takes a pen in her empty hand and jabs it toward me to emphasize her point.
なので排除しようとしたってことじゃないかしら。
So I'm just an intruder? Hazing, is it? A bit of bullying comes with being a fresh recruit, but I didn't expect the same here. I think Yuji just misinterpreted that again.
いじめにしてはいじめられる側が強力すぎるけどね。
Well, that's true. Apparently unconvinced by the idea of Sakagi stealing my lunch money, Principal Tachibana hides a snort of laughter behind her hand. Although it's certainly amusing considering the balance of our physical strength, I don't see how I can manage a decent student life at this rate. Can you imagine? It's like, you know, you try to make friends in adulthood. It's like, so what was your high school like? Well, there was this one girl who tried to kill me every day. Wait, what? Ugh, suddenly not a normal Yuji thought process. Suddenly you're not a well-adjusted high school student because you had a classmate try to kill you every single day. Ugh. Ugh. I'm honored to have provided a moment of amusement for our perpetually overworked principal, but I came here hoping to have a path toward overcoming this challenge illuminated by your educational guidance.
あなた、実は私をいじめる目的でここに来たんでしょ。
Chizuru gets bullied. Cranky from beginning to end, ultimately the principal didn't provide me with any useful advice. Ultimately, nothing happened. This is what school is like, so figure it out for yourself. Normal school life means a few problems like this. I do have to admit she managed to dodge the issue reasonably well with that last line. In any case, since she didn't have any clear answer for me, I'm left with no choice but to do as she says and try to work on this over time. It's not really my style to go with the flow like this, but if that's the proposal in my educational guide, there's no helping it. Hey, Merry Christmas, Ribbon. How's it going? And welcome, Vanitas. No, you just missed that. We now established that Yumiko tries to kill me with a box cutter, but very ineffectively because Yuji is clearly a Banff. As you can see, she's doing an effective job of not hitting me all the time. Oh, Vanitas, that's a funny question. So, interesting thing. Between the Discord message I got, the YouTube comment, and the 2 votes I got on my Twitter, I had a 4-way tie with all the girls. So I actually rolled the dice, like, as the live stream began. And I made my choice. I didn't tell anyone what the choice was. King, I'm pretty sure you got the lyrics wrong there. Amane's just like, her skill with the blade's getting better. Yushi's making her better. Machina.
最初はハラハラしましたけど、こうなってくると緊張感のかけらもないですよ。
Everyone's just like, oh, this is our daily school life now, whatever.
どうして
I'm a professional, you're not. The result of going with the flow, Yumiko's attacks have been continuing without any particular change to date.
ユージもしっかり相手しちゃうから。
Look, could you quit it already?
うるさい。
Her movements thrown off by my sudden sidestep, Yumiko staggers forward unsteadily. She tries desperately to regain her balance, resulting in a ridiculous pose in strong contrast with her usual haughty demeanor. Balance! Like a ballerina. The slapstick fake soon snorts. Michiru lets out an involuntary giggle at the spectacle. She's instantly pierced by Yumiko's furious glare. Yo! Weak! What a wimp. That's quite the gap in translation, though. Ignoring Michiru as she cowers behind her desk, Yumiko storms out of the classroom in a towering rage. Yep.
このところずっとリプレイを見せられているようです。
Guys like daily lives of high school students. That's what we'll call this.
わかった。何よあの目。相変わらず人を凍えさせるのに十分な威力を持ってるわよ。チルチルにはきっと血の報復があるのよさ。
Wrecked.
ちょっとやめてよマキナ。お楽しみに。
Maki's like, I will enjoy watching your entrails be pulled out by Yumiko. What?
お楽しみにじゃねえ。
Scenes like this were very familiar by now. With the exception of Michiru, everyone seems perfectly calm. Even if this little routine doesn't bother them, as a directly concerned party, it's problematic. Hey, Amane. In response to my call, she points to herself with her index finger, silently asking, me? When I nod, she approaches in her usual pointlessly sexy way. Goddamn pointlessly stupid sexy boobs. Is that what he's saying?
何どうしたの？榊さんとの対戦格闘に疲れたから、私の胸の中で安らぎたくなった？
Yeah, I don't think we're at that stage of friendship, Amane. Sorry, do you actually want me to treat you like a sex worker?
ユージ君がそれを望むのなら、そういう日があってもいいかな？
Really? I'll be sure to keep that offer in mind, but that's not what I need today.
は？何なの？
What? Well, you suddenly dissatisfied and rejecting your advances? Come on, Amane. You can't give it up that easily. You've known her, Yumiko, for a long time, right?
そりゃ確かに多少は他の子よりかは付き合いも長いけど。
She wants his D. Any ideas about the reason she's rejecting me this intensely?
ごめん、わからない。ああいう子でしょ？正直、事務的なこと以外に話す機会もあまりないのよね。
Practical stuff. I see.
ユージ君も来たことだし、これから少しずつ話とかできればとは思うけど、今は私もほぼデフォルトに近い状態なのよね。
Okay. Certainly, Yumiko hardly seems the type to open up and reveal herself to someone just because you've known each other a while. I guess I'll have to find a solution myself after all. Thanks anyway. Let me know if anything comes to mind. With those words, I move to exit the classroom. If Yumiko's rejection continues to take this form, I'll have no choice but to ask the principal's advice again. At the moment I open the door and prepare to leave,
仲間意識かな？
I stop at the sound of Amane's voice. Hmm?
ユージ君ってさ、よそから来た人じゃん？そういうとこ あの子は異物感があって嫌なのかもね。
Hey, let's see right now, like who wanted who in the chat? For you guys that are right here. She's saying the same thing as the principal, huh? Does it feel that way to you as well, Amane?
私はそんなことないわよ。ユウジ君を全力で支援しちゃうから。
It's a little hard to take that seriously given the flow of this conversation.
ユウジ君のこと仲間だって思ったら戦いも終わるかもね。
I return to the dorm and wander the hallways without any particular objective. Compared to shutting myself up alone in my room, it's easier to gather my thoughts. Yeah, Shade, we know who you want. One of the group, huh? I recall Amane's parting words. It's easy for her to say, but actually getting that island of a human being to recognize me as a friend seems next to impossible. First of all, we're not even on speaking terms yet. Oh, this late already? Sun is sinking below the window frame, casting shadows along the hall. About time for me to return to my room. Yeah, Shade's Yumiko. Guess I'll try talking to her tomorrow. I scratch my head as I turn toward my bedroom. The sound of my slippers echoes roughly in the hallway. Yumiko might have her own set of internal rules, since she hasn't tried to attack me even once while inside the dorm. It's not that I was particularly off my guard as a result of that assumption. Rather, it was probably because it happened at this particular time of day. Or so I would reflect to myself later. What? Evening. A hallway in the dormitory lit by the setting sun. At the flash of thrusting light, I reacted instinctively and grabbed her arm firmly. With her arm captured, Yumiko's face stiffens. The box cutter blade, still extended, rattles around at her feet, turning in circles around the handle. Trying for the element of surprise? Yumiko's expression changes from shock to fear. That's what tips me off that I'm not wearing my peaceful face. Sorry, that came out of nowhere, so I couldn't hold back. I didn't want to frighten her. I thought I could play the normal student. I wanted to convince myself that I could. Look, Yumiko. Still gripping her arm, I look into her eyes and speak. I'm not your enemy. Yumiko's expression betrays uncertainty for just a moment. But just as quickly, it settled back into her customary mask. Ah, look, we're hitting it off. But it doesn't look like you're convinced of that yet, so let me say one thing. Releasing her arm, I pick up the box cutter lying in front of her feet. Carefully retracting the blade, I hold it out to Yumiko. I won't cause you harm, and I won't pry into your business, either. That's a promise, so stop this. It's pointless. Observe me and reach your own conclusions. If I'm lying, you can always try stabbing me again. Stumbling, Yumiko retreats a single step. Bye. Turning around, I return to my room. Normally, Yumiko would see such a chance to attack, but something's different now. Her elongated shadow is still, and the hallway is silent except for the small sound of her breathing. And we're in June of 2011, guys. After that day, Yumiko's attacks came to an abrupt halt. Hopefully I can use this as an opportunity to slightly improve our relationship. I'm trying to live a normal campus life. So it'd be nice to minimize the number of classmates who want me dead. Man! Hey, it's normal clothing, Yumiko. Yo. As usual, to call Yumiko's behavior when we can't come across each other curt would be an understatement. Oops. At the very least, judging from the clearly different way she's looking at me, her observation period seems to be ongoing. Sup? I'll answer, unless you want to know my weaknesses. Oh, what a shame. Come with something else. She occasionally talks to me like this, but instead of friendly chats about our lunch plans, we have investigative inquiries and careful negotiations. Even so, I suppose it's a considerable improvement over outright bloodshed. Yeah. Yo, it's just big boobs, okay? Is that your idea of social interaction between classmates? I mean, that's fair. Right then. Open my hands in an exaggerated American-style shrug. Hey! I'm kidding, guys. Hopefully you didn't do that. Well, good luck to you, Yumiko. I think it's time to leave before she starts probing any further. Seems like she's hung up on that point. After those events, I've been intentionally addressing Yumiko by her first name. Family name would actually be more appropriate here, but I've gotten a bit of a reason for doing this. Says the woman who's never referred to me as anything but you. I mean, so you're saying, as classmates, we should both use last names? Yumiko's expression clearly reads, "Oh crap! Oh no!" Oh, you're just laying out random people's weaknesses now. Until you do, that's why you're called Yumiko. Isn't that the starting point for building a cordial relationship? A cordial relationship, if you want to say it right. Alright, in that case, I'll take our friendship to the next level by making up a pleasant nickname for you. Not to worry, you can do the same for... I still have the box cutter! It might be a little early for that, so I propose starting with last names. Yumiko hesitates briefly, but before long, she opens her mouth stiffly in a tight voice. Hey, at least my name's not Kizami, okay? After speaking those words with a cramped attempt at a smile, she stalks off. Yeah, best regards, Sakaki. Thus, after great hardship, I finally succeeded in establishing an absolute minimum level of communication with my 5th classmate. Seems this student life thing is pretty rough in its own way. Ha! Student life. So difficult. American-style shrug. When I push open the heavy glass doors, I find the lobby in utter silence. Exchanging my outdoor use shoes for slippers I use in my room, I reach for the board hanging above the shoe racks, and flip the magnetic name tag reading Kazami Yuji from out to in. A glance at the other names reveal that Sakaki, Sachi, and Amane are all in. There's no one in the lobby. They're probably shut up in their rooms doing homework. Sakaki, Sachi, and Amane. So Michiru and Makina are not here? Hold on. There wasn't any homework assigned today, which would mean my hypothesis just now can't be accurate. Then what? When students shut themselves up in their rooms, homework and masturbation are the only things that come to mind. Alright, no problem, King. Yup, that's all students do, guys. All they do is homework and masturbation. Nothing else. Although I gave the matter a little thought, I don't plan on going around and confirming my new conjecture. It's just a guess, and no matter what sort of vile filth they're getting off to, that's their prerogative. Yeah, you know, to each their own. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly there. In this case, pretending not to notice would be the kinder thing. Having reached that conclusion, I reach out to the door of my room, but... in doing so, I notice that the bit of tape I stuck on the door as a seal has been ripped off. Someone's in the room. Backing away from the door for a moment, I quietly press my ear against the wall, but can't hear any noises from inside. Doesn't seem like a typhoon is laying waste to my room in my absence, but either way. If it's someone stupid enough to miss the tape, no need to be too careful. I forcefully swing open the door to my room. Don't move, guys. Don't move. What are you doing in here? Who called me a stripper? It's not my birthday. You got the wrong room. Wrecked.
前にいた学校じゃ誕生日に友達が寮の部屋にストリッパーを呼ぶようなサプライズがあったわけ？
What? It's just Amane. Why are you in my room?
なぜって言われてもな。この部屋で着替えるのはいつものことだし。
Amane points to a large overnight bag lying on the floor, presumably containing her spare clothes.
この部屋だけ冷蔵庫が大きいのよ。いっぱい買い物した時とかこの部屋の冷蔵庫を使わせてもらってるの。
Why are you half naked? That would be a great birthday present!
そりゃ着替えてるところにいきなり踏み込まれたからでしょ。学校から帰ってすぐに買い物に行きたい時はここで着替えるのよ。
Got your own room, right?
私の部屋2階だし面倒じゃない。
When I was a grade schooler, I had friends who'd throw their bags by the door after school so they could get back outside faster. I guess this woman's brain works on the same level?
着替え続けてもいい？
Fine, I suppose.
そんなところに突っ立ってないで入ったら？
I'll come in whether you invite me or not. It's my room. I walk into the room, hold the glass under the faucet in the sink, and fill it with tap water.
あのさ。
What? She's just lazy. I swig down tepid water from the glass.
普通入るかな。
Yo, this is my room! What's the problem here? Actually, what? Your sentence is missing both a verb and an object.
いや、だからさ、女の子が着替えてるんだよ。普通遠慮しない？
I'm not a normal man, and you were the one who barged into my room.
それはそうなんだけれども。
I like how, like, neither Yuji or Amane are really embarrassed by this situation. Like, it's actually very refreshing to see. There's like, you know, no, it's not normal, but neither of them are normal, so. If you don't want to be seen, how about being frank about it and telling me to get out?
失礼ね。見られて困るような体してないわよ。
Amane's like, proud of my body. That's right, girl. You be proud of your body. Want me to stick a 20 in your panties?
だからストリッパーじゃないっての。
If you say so, you seem pretty used to this.
そりゃこっちのセリフよ。そうやってビール片手にテレビで野球観戦する親父みたいにじっと見られても落ち着かないじゃない。
Like, seriously, that's what you should say, you know. Well, I guess this channel's okay. If you didn't want to be seen, you should have said it so from the start. I'll be outside. Call me when you're done changing.
いいわよ。すぐ着替え終わるから。
What a troublesome woman. What do you want from me?
そこでおとなしくじっとしてなさい。
I mean, I guess that's fair. Nice tits.
感想とかいらないから。
Oh my god, this Yuji character is great. Turning my empty glass to the sink, I turn my back on Amane for a moment. Breaking into my room as she pleases, throwing her tits around as she pleases, and then getting pissed at me as she pleases. I don't have any real obligation to be considerate of someone like that. But, well, this kind of thoughtfulness is what keeps society moving smoothly.
ねえ、ユージくん。
Women are weird. Thanks, Vanitas. People are weird, okay? What?
君、なんだか妙に女慣れしてるよね。お姉さんとかいるの？
Well, I did have one.
いたって、今はいないの？
She's dead.
そっか、ごめんね。無神経なこと聞いて。
It's been years, not a problem.
じゃあさ、無神経ついでにもう一つ聞いてもいい？
What?
お姉さんの名前は？
Oh. Agreed. Kazuki. Kazuki Kazami? Man.
カズキ？
I know, kind of a weird name for a girl. It's actually written with the characters for one and... Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, because I was like, Kazuki, that's a strange name, but then... That makes sense. Alright.
珍しい名前だね。
Yeah, I agree, Amane. Why do you ask?
別に ただの興味本位。
That's fair. I see. My sister is a topic I prefer to avoid as much as possible. Not because it's too painful to remember her death or anything sentimental like that. I just don't want to get in a heavy mood for no good reason. Okay. Maybe Amane picked up on my reaction since she doesn't ask anything else about the subject. Although she's a troublesome, selfish woman, I can honestly appreciate that part of her. I mean, what's the point in changing? You still look like a stripper. I wasn't really waiting. Just a little curious. Now that I look, Amane is wearing a pointlessly skimpy outfit. Even if it is summer, this is a bit over the top. Too much exposure. Your breasts are barely staying in that thing. A waste of resources? Hey, how's it going, Fallen? Ah. This woman's trying to disrupt the economy of the shopping district via her tits? We just realized what your true motive is, Amane. Nothing at all. If you're done, hurry up and go. 30 old men at the shopping district are clutching their 20s in anticipation. Wait, you made it sound like I'm going too. Oh, how's my Swedish furniture? My IKEA drawer is awesome. It's set up, it's full of clothes. And I organized my room too. As she speaks, Amane grabs my arm like a border patrol agent seizing an illegal immigrant from Mexico. What are you trying to pull? Get off. You're gonna get less freebies. Why do I have to come? 10 kilos. What's her name? Katsuki is the name of Yuji's older sister. Even if you don't rope me into this, with that huge body, 10 kilos shouldn't be an issue. Or so I thought, but courteously didn't put into words. We're dealing with a woman here, technically speaking. In the first place, she's only large for a woman. I'm 8 or 9 centimeters taller. I guess Amane has gotten sick of me staring at her silently as she jerks me closer by the arm she's grasping. Oh, what's the name of the drawer? Well... it's a 5-drawer dresser, so... I don't know. Call her, Goro. Goro. That's good, right? Because Go means 5. I don't know where the ro came from, Goro. Let you see, and that's not really a female name either, but whatever. I'll let you see my breasts a little shopping. Okay, yeah. I don't remember asking to see her breasts. This woman's logic is completely incoherent. Goro, not Goro. Goro. Go. G-O-R-O. Goro is very different. That's very different, Fallen. If you think a flash of your tits will make any man do your bidding, you've got another thing coming. Goro, yes, Fallen Goro. Goro. When you've got a physique like that, I think it's probably inevitable. Damn my 8 to 9 centimeters being taller than you. As she speaks, Amane entwines herself around my arm, pushing her famous breast onto me. Hey.
責任取って結婚してもらうところよ。
Uh-oh. Waiting for the reveal that the main character is gay. That'd be funny. I'll take a lifetime of shopping, guys. The fact that I just spent a good second thinking about anti-helicopter mines is frankly completely ridiculous. But the world has been seeming like an extremely ridiculous place recently. No point getting too down on myself. Fine, you just need me to carry the rice, right?
そうそう。最初からそうやって素直にって言ってりゃ可愛いのにね。
Yeah, but I've heard it's better not to be loved by God or big woman if you want a long life.
何それ?
Probably from his master. Just a joke, let's get going already. Probably what he concluded after his master. Because he said his master was also a big woman.
ちょっとやだ、待ってよ。
Let go of my arm, I don't need you clinging all over me. It's stifling.
本当は嬉しいくせに。ってあれ？ユージくん、なんかいい匂いする。香水とかつけてる？
Oh, no, that's Galco? Garuko? That's Garu? Or Gyaru? I believe. Yeah, that's not Guro. Guro is not that. It's like Gal or Garu. I'm not exactly sure, but it's like Gal or Garu, something like that. That's that like kind of like the tan skin and stuff. You could just say they're fashionable too. Don't press your nose against me and snuffle. You're not a dog. Wrecked! Don't Google Guro though. Don't. Google Gyaru, Gyaru. Google Goro, Goro, but don't Google Guro. Because that's it's a different genre altogether. Honestly, carrying some rice isn't really that big a deal. But if I agreed from the start to save myself the effort of resistance, it's easy to see she'd take that as a license to push increasingly unreasonable requests on me. If you're smart, you start rejecting people's requests at 80% of your real tolerance level. Oh, that's fair. Mishima Cafe, Central Shopping Street. Women's shopping methods can be broken down into two patterns. Uh-oh. Art. Type A throws anything that catches her eye into her cart, whether or not she has any need for it. Type B deliberates endlessly over cost efficiency, even when she has a pressing need and ends up buying nothing. That's me, guys. I'm type B in shopping. For food, especially. My impression of the woman named Amane, probably influenced by her large build, was that she was likely the careless sort who followed the former pattern. But apparently, I'm not much of a judge of character.
次は八百屋さんに行こうか。
What, you're still buying? If you needed vegetables, why didn't you get them at the supermarket just now?
スーパーより商店街の八百屋さんの方が安いんだもの。
Yeah, I keep track of that. Vanitas, you're very wrong in that thought process. Shopping skills B. Wait. I understand in theory that specialty shops are better than general retailers. But as the one being dragged around, changing stores this rapidly is a serious nuisance. Because Amane mentioned she wanted to buy oolong tea, I reached out for a 2-liter 158 yen bottle at the supermarket, only to have her slap my hand firmly away. In the woman's own words, "Don't buy that here. Get tea packs at the drugstore and you can make 52 liters for 480 yen. Exactly." And so I end up having to tag along to the drugstore as well. Women are SS class in shipping. That was a mistake.
すみません。玉ねぎと人参くださいな。
Oh, Amane-chan, いらっしゃい。今日も可愛いね。
Yeah, you know, she's flaunting these boobs, so give her some service.
でしょ。ねえ、奥さんに内緒でおまけしてよ。
Oh my god, she's smart!
Amane-chan にはかなわねえな。よし、そんじゃおじさん、いちごのパックをおまけしちゃおうかな。
Yeah, I love strawberries.
嬉しい。いいの？
Amane-chan だけのサービスなんだからみんなに言っちゃダメだぜ。
ありがとう。いちご、マキナが大好きなのよね。
そういや、今日は巻き棒は一緒じゃねえんだな。どうしたい？
はあ、今日はお米も買ったからタフな荷物持ちを連れてきたの。
Thanks. Growling, the dirty old greengrocer sized me up with a blatant scowl on his face.
なんであいつは気に入らねえ目つきしてやがるな。
I believe, Mr. Greengrocer, Yumiko would agree with your sentiments.
そう嫌わないでやってよ。私の弟なんだから。
Crap.
弟？なんで弟かよ。
Oh my god, she's so smart. Yeah, you meant Ganguro. Okay.
俺はまたてっきりAmaneちゃんがろくでもねえ男と付き合ってるのかと思ってよ。おじさん早合点しちまった。
I'm not sure what's so funny, but the greengrocer cackles heartily as he stares into my face.
はい、ボス。名前は
Yuji.
そうか、ユージか。いい名前じゃねえか。姉ちゃんの手伝いしてやれえな。よし、おめえにもイチゴやるから食え。ビタミンが足んねえからそんな人殺しみてえな面になんだ。栃木のブランドイチゴだぞ。食え食え。
Arigato. Gozaimasu. I smile and lower my head in a slight bow, prompting the old man to shout, "What? You can smile after all!" in an even louder voice.
じゃあおじさん、ありがとうね。
Keep the GGs coming. GG no ring.
また来な。サービスすっからよ。ユージもな。
Of course, thank you.
あんた、その顔やめな。
Pretty sly of you. What are you talking about?
そのひどい笑顔、まるで誰かに習ったみたいな顔だね。
I mean, that's not wrong. You're strangely perceptive at times.
あんたってさ、たまにそうやって顔で嘘つくよね。そういう家系なの？
Fake smiles are an expression of consideration for others. Want me to scowl instead?
だったらもう少し上手に笑いなさいよ。バレバレよ。
No, I think you're a little bit too perceptive for, like, normal people. I was taught that children's smiles and women's tears are weapons. This is the first time my own emotional front was penetrated like this. I may have been underestimating this woman.
またそうやって怖い顔する。そんな顔するからマキナが怖がるんだよ。
Oh, is that what it is? I was born with this face. What are the others?
へえ、じゃあ、あんたのお姉ちゃんもそんな顔だったわけ？
No, they're doing whatever, man. My sister was, yeah, well, in her case, she always had this sleepy expression.
そうなんだ。
Why bring up my sister there?
まあ、なんとなく。
So wait, is Amane the one that's gonna bring up all these memories about my older sister that's dead? More importantly, are we finished with the shopping yet?
あとはお豆腐屋さんで絹ごしと白滝を買うだけ。
We're still not done. Just carrying rice. So I've been promised when I agreed to this shopping expedition, but in the end I ended up following her around for a good 2 hours. With 10 kilos of rice, just like...
買い物に付き合ってくれてありがとう。助かったわ。
As she speaks, Amane is packing away the ingredients she purchased, for some reason, into my refrigerator.
普段はマキナと一緒に行くんだけど、あの子と買い物に行くと スーパーのお菓子売り場とかおもちゃ屋さんに寄り道したがるから時間かかるのよね。
Man. It's because she likes being an older sister too. Wait, what? It's not a problem, but mind if I ask you something? Why are you putting that stuff into the fridge in my room?
だからこの部屋の冷蔵庫が一番大きいんだってば。
That's not the answer to the question.
いいじゃない。どうせろくに使ってないんでしょ。ほら、いちごあげるからさ。
That's from the pack that old man at the green grocers gave to me.
私がいたからもらえたんじゃない。冷蔵庫の中の牛乳も飲んでいいからさ、ね。
It's not that I particularly cared about her using the fridge, but her barging in here every time she needs to get something would be a pain in the ass.
そうだ。今日のお礼に晩ご飯作ってあげようか。
My wallet died too. There were Steam sales. Much buying was had. I've already cooked rice, and I've got canned food for the side dishes, so I'll pass.
おかず缶詰なの？なんかわびしい感じ。それにお米って炊飯器もないのにどうやって炊いたの？
Using that over there. I point towards a cylindrical mess kit style rice cooker made of aluminum, currently towering over the IH cooking heater in my kitchen.
飯盒で炊いたの？
Dead since 1939. It's the most wonderful time, and I have no money. IH heaters can't quite manage aluminum, so I've been using a gasoline stove I had with me instead.
サバイバルだな。よくそんな道具持ってたね。
It's only normal for a man to have a stove or two. Yeah, just hanging out. Normal for a man is probably an overstatement, but standard equipment for a backpacker at least. Ideally, you want one that can use the unleaded gasoline you can get from gas stations.
それじゃあさ、ご飯持って私の部屋来る？おかずが缶詰だけじゃ寂しいでしょ？どうせマキナの分も作るんだし、一緒に食べようよ。
Freaking rich kids. No, I'll pass.
どうして？心配しなくても、こう見えても私、料理は得意なんだよ。
Makina will be there, wouldn't she?
ああ、そっか。マキナ、まだユージ君のこと怖がってるか。
See, that's consideration, right? Exactly. I think it'd be better if I wasn't there.
この際だから仲良くなってよ。
It's not going to happen that fast. If I go out of my way to eat quietly, she'll end up feeling even more uncomfortable. I'll pass after all.
まあ、今日は仕方がないとしても、マキナと仲良くなってくれれば、いつだってご飯作ってあげるよ。
You telling me to become friends with her in exchange for food?
そうは言わないけどさ、仲良くしてほしいっていうのは本音。あの子、ああ見えて友達作るの下手だからさ、ユージ君の方から声をかけてあげてよ。
I like how this came up and forgot that Amane was talking. I don't have anything against her, and I don't want to be on hostile terms, so I'll try to talk to her, but I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to improve things. My personality being what it is. Picking up on the words I've left unspoken, Amane answers that's good enough with a smile.
じゃあ、今日はありがとうね。
As soon as the words are out of her mouth, she briskly walks out the door, but... hey, wait, you forgot. The overnight bag packed with her spare clothes is still lying in the center of the room. That woman, she isn't planning to change my room again, is she? More to the point, I'm sure I locked this door when I left this morning. How did she even get in here? There aren't any signs of damage to the lock, and I can't imagine she's got a secret talent for lockpicking. Does she have a spare key or something? So, Amane. Creatures known as large women are mostly careless, but weirdly attentive to certain details, to possess unusual intuition, as well as pointlessly large breasts. On the whole, deserve to be handled with caution. Anyway, it's still June, guys. And we're still in school. In the time-honored traditions of America, bright red cars are called pony cars because they're a reputation as playthings for schoolboys. I didn't know that. While yellow models are jackass cars because only morons drive them. A certain German woman I know, whether aware of that or not, deliberately drives a particularly flashy yellow vehicle around. Apparently, she very much enjoys the compliments she gets from colleagues at work, usually some variation of, "It really suits you." In other words, a stupid car like that is just about right for a dumb blonde. But she hasn't caught on to the fact that she's being mocked, and I've tactfully decided not to inform her either. Just like with women who get flattered when someone tells them, "Your dress does wonders for your figure," it's pretty tough to let them know after the fact that she's not really being complimented. But sometimes things like this can come back to bite you when you least expect it. Noise. Huh?
なんかあそこにいる外人の女の人、こっち見て手を振ってるんだけど、知り合い?
Don't know her. I don't have any bimbos among my acquaintances.
いや、でもなんかめっちゃあんたに向かって手振ってるんだけど。
Pretty sure she stands out a lot. I told you I don't know her. Probably selling Girl Scouts cookies. Oh yeah, that's what all the Girl Scout cookie sellers look like. Oh man. Oh god.
何それ?
Either way, better not get too close. Let's get out of here.
Howdy, Yuji.
God damn it, JB.
ねえ、思いっきりユージって呼んでるよ。
Ugh, what is that woman thinking?
誰なの?
I'll explain later. Sorry, but go on ahead.
何? やっぱ知り合いなの? まさか借金取りとかじゃないよね?
She's my guardian, or rather, my guarantor.
大丈夫なの?
It's fine. Hurry up and take Machina back. I'll be right behind you. I'm just going to say a quick hello. No one trusts. Apparently not enjoying the way I'm shooing her off with my hands like a stray dog, Amane walks away with a sulky expression, shooting repeated glances over her shoulder. After watching Amane and Machina disappear past the school gate, I screw up an irritated expression, scratch my head vigorously, and approach the blinding yellow bimbo-mobile. Oh god. Look, woman.
Yeah. 学生生活を楽しんでいるかい?
Yeah, more or less. You enjoying pretending to be my guardian?
嫌な物言いをするのね。あなたのそういうところ、朝子にそっくりよ。
I'm assuming Asuka's like his master or something. What did you come here for?
何しに来たはないでしょ。私、一応あなたの保護者なんだよ。
Although I'm grateful that you're acting as a guarantor of my background, I don't need a guardian at my age. Kindly get lost.
冷たいのね。子供の頃はもっと素直で可愛かったのに。
Hopefully there's no stabbing people in the neck with chainsaws fetishes. If you think you can shut me up by bringing up my childhood, you've got another thing coming. I'll repeat the question. What did you come here for? If it's about work, I thought I had a break for the moment.
いやーねー、私はただあなたが普通の学校で普通にやっていけてるのか様子を見に来ただけよ。
Probably not helping that you showed up here. There's no problem at present. If you force me to come up with one, you being here would top the list. It's going to be a pain in the ass to make up an excuse when I go back to the classroom. Don't increase my workload.
破綻のない過去は用意してあげたでしょ。私のことは母方の親戚だって押し通しなさいな。
I prefer to avoid lying outright where possible. Lies are like colors. The more you pile up, the blacker things get. Oh, that's interesting.
嘘の場合は赤くなるでしょ。
Get enough of that place and things turn just as black.
そうならないようにうまく立ち回ることね。事故死はしたくないでしょ。
Accidental death, what? I don't need you to tell me that. I'm handling this myself, which is precisely why I don't need you giving me a surprise like this.
わかったわよ。今日のところはこれで帰るわ。
What? Are you serious? You really did just come to see me?
そう言ったでしょ。仕事の話なら事前に携帯に連絡してから来るわよ。
Ah, right, the cell phone.
ちょっと、まさか持ち歩いてないの？ちゃんと仕事用とプライベート用に2つ用意してあげたでしょ。
Sorry, I'll make sure to keep it around from now on.
こちらからの呼び出しに対して15分以上返答がなかった場合、逃亡とみなして何人か送りつけるわよ。
Oh, what is she
わ
like?
かってる？
Is she my SO? I'm aware.
それと県外に出るときは事前に申請書を提出すること。
I'm aware of that as well.
思い出した。あなたこの町に来るとき歩いて県境を越えたでしょ。ちゃんと電車のチケット用意してあげたのに何やってんのよ。
I hate trains, as you know.
だからって200キロも歩くバカがどこにいるのよ。
Apparently Yuji does? The kind that's standing in front of you. Also, the walk was closer to 175 kilometers.
そのせいで警察の世話になったくせに偉そうに言わないの。上から嫌味を言われるのは私なのよ。ちょっとめんどくせえなこの女みたいな目で私をじっと見るのやめなさい。
I mean, you know. You some kind of psychic? How did you read my thoughts?
泣くわよ。
No, look, I do feel bad about that. I'll apologize nice and slowly over dinner next time, okay? So please leave.
飯でも食わせておけば私が黙ると思ったら大間違いよ。
No, you're buying the food. What are you talking about?
もう一度言うけど、事故死したくなければおかしな真似はしないこと。わかった？
Understood. Orders received. Major Harudera. Hey, stop saying can I hit this guy just once with your eyes.
あなたエスパーなの？
Please don't spread it around. It's a pain in the ass to have to bend the spoon every time I introduce myself.
あのね。
I do understand. Don't mind my jokes.
まったく。なんでこんな可愛げのない子に育ったのかしら。
Eyes can't lie. Get that a lot. Hurry up and get going. You don't have the time to play around here either, do you?
言われなくても帰るわよ。それとしつこいようだけど。
You're right, my bad, JB.
わかればいいわよ。じゃ、また連絡するわ。
Yeah. Watch as JB turns away and climbs into her car. What kind of fucking driving is she doing? What? Her blonde hair is swinging behind her in waves. She drives off. I retrieve a cell phone from my school bag. Although I pretend otherwise, I've been carrying my work phone around just as ordered. It's a black, low-profile slide phone I received from JB specifically for company business. I decided to screen it up quickly and put the unlock pin and call up the menu screen. Although it looks like a perfectly normal cell phone, any calls made from this machine pass through a special encrypted line. There's only one entry in the contacts. That single number is listed under JB, Julia Bardera. Naturalized name, Harudera Yuria. My direct supervisor at my part-time job. I knew it! She's the SO. Supervising officer. If you're going to come, at least give me advance warning. Click my tongue in irritation, slide the phone shut, and stuff it into my pocket of my uniform so I can respond instantly to any future contact. Harudera Yuria, alias JB. As the woman said herself, she's something of a pain in the ass. She'll go nearly half a year without a single call, and then suddenly It's a brusque, stand by in the designated point, where of course she has some incredibly troublesome job waiting to push on me. No, it's almost better when there's actually a job. Sometimes she leaves me at the rendezvous point for more than an hour without any contact. And then when I finally get the call I've been sitting around waiting for, it's occurred, situation resolved, and I go right back home again. Well, I do get a travel fee deposited into my account, just for heading to the standby point, so I suppose it's not a complete fool's errand in that sense, but sometimes I can't help but feel like my time on this earth isn't being spent efficiently. It's something of a behind-the-scenes part-time job, and the work would be troublesome to explain to others if they asked. Of course, it's also not the kind of job I can just casually quit when I want to. More importantly, this is a position that I inherited from my master. I wouldn't walk away even if I could. Well then, how should I explain this to Amane and company? I don't think I'll be able to pass her off as a cookie peddler after all. Pass through the Mihama Academy school gate, dragging myself along on heavy feet. As expected, the instant I show my face in the classroom, Anna jumps all over me. Most of my classmates are gathering on the far side of the room, apparently having watched me from the window. And as I enter, they're all looking at me with questions in their eyes. Blondie? Naturally, Amane is the one who steps forward to interrogate me, as if declaring herself the representative of the class. That said, the rest of the group doesn't seem to be disinterested either. Makina is staring at me with a dazed expression, and Sachi's clutching her hand together in front of her chest, waiting for my words with bated breath. As for Michiru, for some reason, she's glaring at me like I kicked her puppy. How dare you have another blonde in your life! Kind of thing. Sakaki, on the other hand, is sitting primly in her seat reading a book, as if to announce she's above such things, but judging from the way she hasn't turned the page once since I came in, we've probably got her attention as well. Told you already, didn't I? She's my superior from my part-time job.
Joshi. Joshi ka. Joshi ne. Yuji-kun, baito nanka shiteru n da.
Yeah, I lost both my parents when I was a kid, so I have to earn my own living expenses.
Donna baito nano?
It's a little difficult to summarize, but well, I get rid of garbage, crawl into various places and take care of the cleaning. It's what you call dirty work. No. That's right, but she's on the management side, so she doesn't get her hands dirty. JB.
JB?
Yeah, JB. Her real name is Harudera Yuria. JB's a pet name. I know, right? It's not a look Japanese at all. She's a naturalized citizen. I think she's originally German. Don't really remember. Pull out the chair from my seat and drop my bag on top of the desk with a deliberately loud thump. Questioning over now? Satisfied with your curiosity, then go sit down. Class is going to start. Just as I speak, the first bell rings and Makina and Sachi scurry back to their seats. The large woman who's been interrogating me, her expression still smoldering with irritation, pulls out the chair from the seat in front of mine and sits down heavily. What? Spit it out then. Oh man, usually be like, what? That's your big question? What a joke. Don't stick your nose in my face. You've got a mustache starting there. Yeah, just screwing with you. Sounds fun, give it a try. Amane's punch is slow and lacking in serious intent. I dodge it easily with a slight swaying movement of my upper body. Think this over calmly. Do I look like a man who could be in a relationship? Amane stares into my eyes as if searching for the truth. Oh, maybe it's... Oh! Does Amane like, you have an older girl fetish? Huh? Is that what it is? Well, yeah. What is?
この学園に来る前は何をしていたの?
Well, so this question finally came up. On paper, I was studying abroad in Canada, or some similar lie they came up with for my forged personal history. But if they start pushing into that story, this will just drag on. Answering somewhat honestly now should make for less trouble down the line anyway. Before I came here, I guess I was a freeloader of sorts.
Himo?
If you want to make it sound fancier, maybe a gigolo? I was being supported by an unrelated older woman.
それがあの金髪の人?
No, she's a friend of the other woman. I started mooching off her after the first one died.
あんた最低ね。
In exchange, she worked me brutally hard on the job. She doesn't have anything to complain about. Amane shuts her eyes, slaps her hand on her forehead, and heaves a heavy sigh.
とにかく恋人はいないってことで間違いないのね。
Nope, I'm completely free until the end of this Let's Play, hopefully. Right. I'll admit, I don't quite understand why that's the main point here, but I guess this stuff is on the mind of girls at this age. If you try to force your perspective onto everything, you'll lose sight of the bigger picture. Although she doesn't look entirely satisfied by my response, Amane mutters a brief, well, alright. Rises from the chair and heads back to her own seat. Watch until she finally sits down, then quickly turn to look behind me. Immediately behind me, I find a bright red Michiru staring back at me. Were you listening? Perfect. 10 out of 10 best voice acting.
別にあんたのことなんか興味ないんだからね。
Oh, that was good.
聞いてたんじゃなくて聞こえちゃっただけよ。勝手に変な話聞かせないでよね。迷惑なんだから。
Crossing her arms tightly in front of her chest, her face bright red, Michiru babbles frantically. In response, I thrust out my right hand in an energetic thumbs up. Nice tsundere, Michiru.
バカにして。
Nice tsundere! Oh my god. If you don't want to talk about something, you should make it awkward to ask. Based on that theory, I tried spicing things up a little more than the reality, but who knows how much of it they believed. Of course, it's true that my parents died when I was still a kid, I was picked up by an older woman, my master, and I lived off the money she earned. After my master's death, I did get to work for her friend JB in order to earn my keep. On top of that, it's thanks to her vouching for me that I'm able to attend a normal school, quote unquote, like this in the first place. Huh, now that I think about it, they didn't change the facts much at all. Then, the more you focus on constructing believable lies, the less they tend to work. When you stick more or less to the truth, you'll end up convincing people no matter how absurd the story sounds. Promising start will be a bit of an overstatement, but I think I can work with this. Hey. Wannabe bitch? The not soon. Nice tsundere instead of like nice tsukomi. No matter what sort of life you're living, you'll run into people who just won't listen to what you have to say. When words don't get through, the easiest alternative is beating them into submission. Certainly a bit of a rough solution, but when you're dealing with another man, it's at least an option. But when you're dealing with a woman, let alone a shrimp of a girl who doesn't come up to your shoulder, it's a different story. You start swinging your fists around out of irritation under those circumstances. Anyone will call it bullying the weak. It's bad style, leave an unpleasant taste in your mouth too. What's called for in such situations is perseverance and patience. They're always saying we live in an age of technological wonders. So I've been waiting for someone to invent a machine you can stick on your back and switch to Zen-like, instantly granting yourself infinite self-control. But despite the clear market potential, the world isn't such a convenient place. Well, no big deal. I'm pretty used to endurance tests by now. My personal favorite so far. This is gonna sound weird, but I think my personal favorite is Michiru, because every single time she shows up, she makes me laugh internally. I'm like, ha, that's funny. And you know, it's a visual novel. They're not gonna exactly feed me into submission. We go, that's best girl. So we'll go with the funny one. Yeah, she's hilarious. Like every single time, like she's she's bad at being a Soon. She's bad at eavesdropping. She's kind of a idiot, and it makes me laugh every time. So there you go. I know it's a very weird choice. It's been 5 minutes since I spotted Irisu Makina wandering aimlessly around the campus and called out, "What are you up to?" in a casual tone. Everyone likes a baka or two in their lives, okay? On the bright side, she reacted to my voice and stopped dead in her tracks instead of fleeing. But the next step is proving a little more problematic. We've been here for 5 minutes. Girl's just staring up at my face. She hasn't said a word. Can you not speak Japanese? Silent as always, Makina shakes her head back and forth in denial, apparently having understood my question. Are you afraid of me, maybe? Her silence continues, and this time there's neither confirmation nor denial. It seems unlikely that she didn't understand the question, which would mean this one is in uncertain territory somewhere between yes and no, as far as I can guess. I'm repeating myself, but this sort of communication takes a lot of patience and persistence. Try to consciously consider things from Makina's point of view. A transfer student with an unclear background, what's more a man of 178 centimeters height. From the perspective of Makina, who I guess to be around 140 cm, it might well be a little intimidating to have me towering above her. For the moment I crouch down so that my eyes are level with hers. It seems like you are wandering around the grounds. Are you looking for something? Oh snap! I got a word out of her! Makina speaks a single word in a quiet voice and once again shakes her head in denial. Then what were you doing? That's a point of some interest to me, but well, if you get down to it, wherever she is and whatever she is doing is her own business, I suppose. Not a policeman, I don't have any reason to drag it out of her. In this case, it might be best to find some words to wrap this up cleanly, give her a friendly goodbye, and let this timid creature be on her way. Just as he reaches his conclusion, Makina slowly moves her hand to the rear of her skirt. Grabs something with her stubby fingers and pushes it in front of my eyes. What's this thing? At a glance, the item in Makina's small hand is a toy-like object roughly the size of an egg, with an LCD screen buried into the center. It's a Tamagotchi! What's that? What kind of weird noise does that make? On a closer examination, there's some unknown life form or monster, most closely resembling a chick, displaying in blocky pixels on the central LCD. It seems to be programmed with some cheap animations, about 3 patterns or so. Ah. Come to think of it, I remember reading a news article about this a few years ago. After developing the smallest 3-axis geomagnetism sensor in the world at the time, a certain company fed that technology into a child's electronic toy, which then became an explosive hit among grade schoolers. It's a pedometer, right? One of those things where the pet grows up faster the more you walk? Cool. Nodding her head, Makina returns the pedometer in her hand to her waist. In other words, she wasn't looking for anything in particular. Wandering itself was the objective. Walking's a good thing, since it's aerobic exercise without too much strain on the joints. If you're going to walk anyway, having some sort of visible result from the effort might make it feel more worthwhile. Drake doesn't even have a Twitter. Oh, no one voted for Makina. It was a 4-way tie. Makina was not included in the vote because at first I was like, I'm not sure if I want to get along with this little scared creature. Just to explain, guys, I am not, when it comes to like anime tropes, I am not big on the little sister character. I have a real little sister, and if I'm going to have quote-unquote little sister moe and crap like that, I'd rather just, you know, be a good older brother for my little sis than be a strange anime fan that has a little sister fetish. That's just strange for me as a person with an actual little sister. Yeah, it's just like, no, no, no. So when I see Machina type characters, I'm like, nah, you're on your own, girl. Peace! Hang out with these other 4 chicks. And probably Chizuru and I guess JB. Actually, I don't know about JB. JB seems a little irritating as well, but... and not funny. She isn't the little sister? I don't know. But she seems very, like... She seems very high maintenance. Machina points at the school gate as she speaks. I see. It makes sense that she'd want to avoid crowded places, given her extreme shyness. That would restrict her strolls to pacing around the school grounds, which would quickly get repetitive. So the digital pet serves as a distraction from that boredom, most likely. You like taking walks? Sorta is it. Well, walking for fun at this age might be a little odd. Seems more like the hobby of an old man. You have any other interests? Like reading, for example? Read any books lately? Manga's fine too. Whatever. To tell the truth, I'd already heard from Amane that Machina often reads books. And reading is a hobby of mine as well. I think it's a decent common topic for starters. In response to my question, Machina holds her right index finger to her chin and mumbles, while gazing up at the sky. Oh, so she's the little girl that acts like an old man. Soka, soka. Ah, GG. I mean, puzzle books are cool. Quiz, huh? Was it interesting? So dangerous sweet that's life-threatening to observe with the naked eye. Life-threatening to observe with the naked eye. What kind of death ray weapon is that? And a sweet of all things? Some new tech from the West. Just looking at it is dangerous. Would mean it's probably some variety of optical weapon. Something like an X-ray possessing mass. Some sort of beam saber style light-based killing tool. No wait, if it's just seeing it is dangerous. Some sort of super weapon that radiates a pulse to the receptors of the eyeball. Uses a flickering pattern to stimulate the brain cells and trigger accelerate apoptosis. Hold it. This thing is a sweet, right? A sweet? Where the hell do we go from there? All I'm getting is some sort of chocolatey pastry shooting out a mysterious beam of light. Pew pew pew. Don't know. I give up. What's the answer? That was quite the thought process. Oh, mitarashi dango. What? Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite the... Oh, did they give me an English? Okay. See and die. Ah, I get it. I missed that angle. Candy. Haha. Yeah, sorry to hold you up. Without even a buy or later, Machina leaves the area at a trot as if fleeing from me. Doesn't seem like she outright hates me though. How long have you been there? Mitarashi dango. What do you mean by the opposite? Trying to not be disliked? Huh. True enough, I remember seeing her rushing around brandishing a cicada and cackling that first time. If that's her normal state, then the way she behaves in front of me would certainly be a product of deliberate self-restraint, but... I think it could be interpreted as simple fear as well.
ってのはあると思うけど、大丈夫じゃないかな。
What makes you say that?
さっきマキナと会話するとき、ユージ君マキナの目線に合わせて腰を低くしたでしょ。あれって実は有効手段なんだよね。
Yeah. When I was a kid, there was a time I'd been surrounded by unfamiliar adults and found myself on the brink of tears. When one of the adults stooped down to talk to me face to face, I immediately got emotionally attached. Looking back, I feel like shouting, "You sure got attached to an outrageous person," or complaining about what an idiot I was, but...
ほら、私も背高い方だし、最初はマキナもなかなか懐かなくってさ、目線を合わせて話すって裏技に気づくのに1ヶ月もかかったよ。
Ah. And now she's glued to you or something like that?
確かにべったりだけど、言うほどいつも一緒ってわけじゃないわよ。マキナは基本的に一人で遊ぶ方が好きだし。それにあの子、感情のムラが激しいっていうか、あんまり変な意味にとってほしくないんだけど、ずっと一緒にいると疲れるのよね。
I'm morbidly curious now. Maybe she's playing by herself because she understands that?
うまく説明できないけど、猫みたいなものよ。構ってほしい時だけニャンニャン言ってすり寄ってきて、飽きたらスッといなくなっちゃう感じ。くせっ気でふわふわしてるし、体もぐにゃぐにゃで柔らかいし、体温が高いから抱くと暖かいし、なんか甘ったるい匂いするし、猫っぽいよね。
Cat, I see.
まあ、慣れないうちはそっけないかもしれないけど、絶対に悪い子じゃないから仲良くしてあげてよ。
I don't plan to force her to be friends if she doesn't want to be, but yeah, I'll try to avoid being hated. If I avoid unnecessary contact, I shouldn't inspire any hatred or come to hate anyone myself. In exchange, I won't be liked or come to like anyone either. Maintaining emotional distance along appropriate lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient interpersonal relationships. Of course, there are always these careless puppy dog types who will leap into your arms wagging their tails right from the start.
何よ、私の顔じっと見て。
No idea, Amane. Well, just think about how beautiful you are.
キスしたくなっちゃった？
Alright, Amane, close your eyes. Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectation, Amane closed her eyes and thrust out her lips as instructed. Moving quickly and silently, I make good my getaway, leaving the girl to her foolishness. Run! I was like, yo, I'm down. It's like, what? I see. Makina may have the right idea. Leaving out later or goodbye entirely and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amane. It's not that I hate you. I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. June 7th. Ah. Read books in a well-lit area. That was a teaching on my master's. At that time, I was accustomed to reading while shut up in a closet or dark room, so those words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead. I'm still not good with direct sunlight. But here I'm searching for a bright place with the book in hand anyway. Aren't I adorable? Music's pretty good in this game, not gonna lie. No reason to wander around looking for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the Schools and Missions Guide pamphlet. On the coded threefold brochure, there's a bird's-eye view illustration of the campus, with a mark to the south of the schoolhouse annotated, planned site of library construction. Planned site meaning there isn't a library yet, I guess. Although there is something library-esque on the second floor of the school building, the collection only holds around 200 books. You can apply to have a book stocked if you're after one in particular. Apparently a bookmobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while. but doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way to borrow the key to use it. I brought my own books, and there are plenty of well-lit areas beside the library. While casually looking over the pamphlet, I find the words Rose Garden. This is definitely our principal's doing.
乙女たちの通う学園にはやっぱりバラ園が必要よね。毎年新入生が入学する時期には先輩たちが自分で育てたバラを新入生の胸に添えるの。素敵。
That was a beautiful transition, guys! Or so I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age eluding herself. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you got room to grow them, it would be better used for an edible plant. Telling her that would probably just make things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tachibana with a Gokienyo One-sama the next time I see her. A rose garden, eh? I don't have any interest in inedible flowers, but I guess there would be a shade tree or two as well. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brings a smirk to my face. Guided by these silly thoughts, I decide to head toward the rose garden for the first and only time. They call it a rose garden, but not a single one's in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the right spot, and there's even a white arch that seems appropriate, but from what I can see, there aren't any roses in flower. Maybe the garden's still a work in progress, or perhaps they're cutting the buds during the summer? Well, not like I came to see roses in the first place, so whatever. Dead! Wait, what? That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No, more importantly, what the heck is she doing? I approached silently and touched Makina's neck in the area of her carotid artery. She's got a pulse. On close inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amane in this case, didn't feed her a poisoned apple. She's sleeping? Wait, this thing is a cat, I think. A large cat is serving as a soundly sleeping Makina's pillow. I'd taken it for a stuffed animal at first glance. Sure looks like a fluffy toy, but when I drew close, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitched like a miniature radar antennas. My next question, why sleep out here, soon resolves itself. I see it's definitely nice and cool here. With these awesome leaves just blowing across the screen. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, or so they used to say. As for Makina, I expect she was wandering around by herself as per usual, then grew exhausted and collapsed into a sudden sleep on the spot. I watched a partially gnawed apple on Makina's chest rise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of eating, just like a baby. Notice that Makina's mouth is half open and dripping transparent drool. Not to mention her hair is a scruffy mess. The ribbon on her uniform is crooked. She's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. What's with this girl? As I look down upon her, Makina suddenly snuffles noisily. It's a beautiful sound. What a weirdo. What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even as I'm filled with the desire to keep watching, discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere of this place also wells up within me. This cat then looked at me! That moment I sense someone watching me and look over to find that Makina's pillow cat has woken and is staring up at me in surprise. Like, sup? Sorry to bother you, go back to sleep. I leave them, taking care to avoid making noise, and sit down under a tree a little ways away. Phew. Wandering around as she pleases, then falling asleep in the nearest coolest place when she gets tired. I see. She certainly does remind you of a cat. I'm envious. That's not sarcasm or anything. I'm genuinely envious of Makina. I'm sure that she brings that little pocket of naturally peaceful space with her wherever she goes. I think that's something worth envying, and it's probably very precious to her as well. Which might well be why she doesn't want to step outside the sanctuary of a school when she can avoid it. Inside this sanctuary that would crumble in a moment without the protection of others. I wonder if the day will come when I too can sleep in that utterly defenseless way. Turning towards the sound, I noticed the fat white cat from before appearing from the direction of the thicket I just left. rustling its way through the foliage on stubby legs, stops suddenly when it spots me sitting under the shade of my tree. Glaring at me with sleepy-looking eyes, it lets out a single disgruntled meow. It's quite a long and loud meow. My bad. For getting suddenly awoken in the middle of a pleasant nap, it's only natural. If I were pulled out of bed on a Sunday morning by some pushy religious solicitors, I'm sure I'd make a similar face. Although the fat cat doesn't seem to have accepted my apology, snuffles roughly and lumbers away from this place. As I'm watching the cat's dignified exit, the bushes start to rustle again. She probably lost her pillow. Holy crap, Machina, please stretch faster. I hear the sound of a dim-witted creature awakening and lazily stretching out its body. When I take a look, Machina is crouched on the ground on all fours, bending her back. She really is a cat in human form. Actually, I do that all the time too. It's really convenient and really good. Machina opens her mouth, holds down a yawn, and rubs roughly at the tears spilling out of the corner of her eyes. After a restless look around the area, she draws herself off the ground. It's not like I'm doing anything I need to be ashamed of, but before I realize that, I've hidden myself from her. After standing stock still for a moment, Machina takes a bite from the apple in her hand and wanders off briskly. And where's she off to now? Doesn't look like she's got any particular destination in mind. Driven by an interest I find difficult to pin down, I decide to quietly follow Machina. There's no regularity to Machina's actions. Just when I think she's walking straight towards something, she'll come to a sudden stop, look around restlessly, and head off in a different direction. Doesn't seem like she's lost or anything, so I suppose she's just moving wherever her whims take her. Unfortunately, that randomness makes it pretty tough to tail her. It wouldn't be a serious problem if she noticed me, but if I just call out to her now, I have the feeling she'll scamper off again. I skillfully hide my presence and continue shadowing her movements. Tailing a girl without her knowledge, objectively speaking, I guess this would be stalking. Yo, Merry Christmas, Olivar. How's it going? How's it going? We're stalking little girls in this game. What? Just as I'm finally starting to get fed up with following Machina's directionless rambling, which resembles the random staggering of a sleepwalker more than anything else. The rare wandering monster in question comes to a sudden halt. Her restless place is an area on the outskirts of the school courtyard, in front of an artificial cement pond of uncertain purpose. Machina tires her way up to the pond, thrusts her hand in the pocket of her skirt to retrieve some half-eaten white bread, and starts tearing off chunks to throw into the water. Every time Machina's small hand hurls a bit of bread into the pond, a loud splashing sound resonates from the surface of the water. Apparently someone stocked it with fish, and she's feeding them. She's fattening them up to eat? Clawfish. Machina looks around the area rapidly, grabs a short tree branch lying nearby, then leans over the depths of the pond and begins poking into the water. Although I was puzzled there for a moment, it seems like she's trying to capture a crawfish she spotted in the pond. Eat all the food! This looks risky. Given her character, it's obvious she'll be taking a face-first dive into the pond very soon if I just sit here. I approach Machina from behind and call out to her. Hey, watch out, you'll fall into that pond. I guess I shouldn't have called out to her out of nowhere. Machina's hand slips off the ground in a stereotypical slapstick pratfall. Whoops. Swiftly reaching out to the floundering Machina, I firmly seize the collar of her school uniform and pull her back to safety. Dangled by the nape of her neck like a kitten, Machina lets out a feline cry. You're light. Are you even 40 kilos? This isn't any difference in weight from the backpack I'm always carrying. Given this weight and size, I could lug her a good 25 kilometers in a single day. Oh, sorry. I wasn't planning to call out to you, but it's better than letting you fall into the pond, isn't it? No need to thank me. I did the natural thing given the circumstance. Look at me shamelessly doing the life-saving hero number, despite being in a large part responsible for the problem in the first place. Might have the makings of an American politician. Damn. Makina gives a quick bow of thanks, and without another word starts to run away from me yet again. Hey, hold it. Where do you think you're going? Don't give me... Oh. Why are you running away from me? She asked me point blank. It's not like I have any particular justification for detaining her here. That said, it's kind of unpleasant to be avoided like this blatantly. At the very least, if there's a reason she's doing this, I want to know about it. I think I asked this before, but are you scared of me? Yuji greater than Trump. There's some reason why you're avoiding me. How about telling me? It's possible, I'll try to address it. Again with the silent treatment. Deciding to pursue the conversation more patiently, I squat down to match my line of sight with Makina's. Do you remember my name? Yee. That's right, Yuji's fine. Okay, then call me what you want. And then this is when animefanrk2k punches Makina in the face. You're not my little sister! Wait, what? Oni? I have to say, being called her big brother is a bit embarrassing on my end, but... Well, alright. I turn around in response to the splashing sounds coming from the pond behind me. There are a number of fish gathered at the surface of the water, flapping their mouths in demand for more food. Seems they've come to expect a handout when people stand near the pond. Makina, you still have some breadcrumbs left? Looks like Makina's playing the part of little sister. Makina thrusts her hand into her skirt pocket and rummages through its contents. What? How much does she have? She pulls things out of her pockets one after the other. The items that emerge are mostly sweets like candy, chocolates, and chewing gum, along with an erratic selection of tools like nail clippers, rubber bands, and glue sticks. Although I've heard that women's purses are connected to the fourth dimension, this girl's pockets seem to be connected to a garbage dump. Makina carelessly rains down the rubbish that emerges on the ground around her. One after the other. What is this? Pick up a plastic container shaped like a large film canister. There's a label pasted on the side filled with numbers and symbols of uncertain meaning. I'm not going to steal it or anything. Here, take it. When I hold out the case to her, Makina snatches it back instantly. I told you, I'm not big on the little sister characters. I'm not going to sneak bites out of other people's food at my age. Makina, I'm not convinced, for I would totally do it. Oh, Amane. Amane, huh? I didn't. Just saying the first name that popped into my head. It really was her? Guess she's got a surprisingly gluttonous side. Good as her word, Makina shoved some half-eaten bread under my face. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if Makina is supposed to be like the little sister character or old man. No, I wasn't planning to eat it. I take the bread scraps from Makina, tear off some small pieces and throw them into the pond. Fish at the surface struggle like a pack of piranha for the food, messily gulping it all down. Nice appetite, huh? I thought these things were carp, Now that I get a closer look, they're actually goldfish?
金魚なのよ。去年神社のお祭りで私が救ったのよさ。
From a goldfish snatching game, huh?
そう。
These were originally goldfish from a scooping game. They're almost certainly the tiny kind that's sold as live food for carnivorous fish at pet shops, but these things are huge.
毎日餌をあげてたらどんどん大きくなったのよ。
Fish generally can keep growing as long as they're alive, so the more you feed them, the bigger they'll get. What exactly have you been giving them, though?
パンとか普通に金魚の餌とか暇な時とか休み時間のたびにあげてたのよ。
Ah, I get it. You know, fish don't really know when they're full. They don't feel pain the way we do, either. So they eat as much as you give them, even if their stomachs are bulging out.
そうなの？
The number one cause of death among aquarium fish is indigestion from being overfed. That's what it said in something I read when I was a kid, at least.
なんて本？
I think it was a magazine called Monthly Junior Science. They mentioned it as some article about raising fish in ozonated water.
へえ、お魚の本なの？
And articles on all sorts of things, not just fish, animals, space, whatever. My older sister was a seriously dedicated reader. I'd pick up magazines like that when she was finished, although half of it went over my head. As I'm recalling the content of the science magazines I read back then, I suddenly remember something. Hey Makina, you had some pickled squid in that pocket, didn't you?
あるけど、金魚にあげるの？
No, just take it out for now. Also, I have anything we could use as a string?
お裁縫の木綿糸ならあるけど、何するの？
You'll see. Receiving the squid from Makina, I firmly tied one end of the thread around it, then knot the other end at a tree branch I picked up at random.
釣り竿？
Exactly, so now we toss the squid dangling by the thread into the pond. Around the area where I threw the squid, I can see the shape of the crawfish Makina had been poking at earlier. When I jiggle the squid in front of its face, within a matter of seconds the crawfish extends its pincers and firmly seizes the bait. There, hooked him, see that?
すげえ！ザニガニ釣れた！
Got it, boys. It's a crawfish, not a clawfish. You got the wrong word. As I dangle the captured crustacean in front of her eyes, Makina stares at it with an expression of immense curiosity.
ザニガニ真っ赤だね。
There must be a lot of edible aquatic plants or something in there. Crawfish turn red when they have abundant food.
餌が少ないとどうなるの？
They turn blue.
青くなる？
If you take a small newborn crawfish and continuously give it food like potatoes, radishes, or sardines that don't contain carotene, they'll turn blue in a month or so.
本当に？
I read it in a book when I was a kid and ended up trying it out myself. There was some that ended with a lot of violet spots or white flecks, but I remember getting a few that turned deep blue as well.
いいなあ。私もやってみたい。
Okay, then try to catch one yourself. Pull the captured crawfish off the squid to return to the pond, and hand the fishing pole to Makina.
私に釣れるかな。やったことないのよさ。
Probably blue. Red? I don't know. I like both colors, I guess. Red versus blue. Experiencing new things is always worthwhile, so you might as well start by trying to catch one yourself.
じゃあやってみる。
So she's literally the definition of curiosity killed the cat. Don't fall into the pond, alright? Also try to get the smallest one you can.
頑張るのよさ。
Good, good. Let the fishing flow through you. Wait, what? Taking the crude pole from me, Makina forcefully hurls the squid into the pond.
ザニガニ釣れるといいな。
Welcome to the fishing minigame. Wait, what? I already told you it's crawfish, not clawfish.
し
Something tells you you're not an idiot. Is that the issue here? I mean, I do remember pronouncing snail as smail back when I was in elementary school for a while. But after my sister pointed it out to me, I stopped making that mistake. Didn't you have someone to point out that sort of mistake for you? Your mom, for instance? Man, that sucks. I see. There's no mother in the world who hates her child was my mother's line, but by now I'm all too well aware that the world isn't that simple. I suppose there really are mothers who hate their children. As for those children that can't be a topic they want to be chat about with some stranger, an awkward attempt at consolation would backfire here. Huh, me? So like I haven't quite gotten used to hang out. Seems I haven't quite gotten the hang of being called Oni-chan yet. You serious? How am I nice? Oh, she's pretty observant. I'm assuming that all of these girls are, in their own way, not an idiot except Michiru, because just wasn't interested enough to risk it. I stare steadily at Makina's small back silhouette against the pond. If you want to talk, I'll listen. Don't they say the kids are cuter when they're a little dumb? Yeah, she's definitely not. Can't say I've ever heard of anyone with that fierce of a reputation for being stupid before. Well, don't worry about it. There's nothing but idiots in my vicinity, including me. Everyone has a strange past. The Fruit of Grisaia. So like I said, I'm surrounded by idiots. If I went around hating people for something like that, I'd run out of my supply of hate real fast. Well, there certainly are people who can't hold together their fragile sense of self-worth except by looking down on others. Even a few true idiots who take those emotions to the extreme become dictators or cult leaders and launch hunts against their inferiors, quote-unquote. Well, why assume you'll be hated over something like that? Anyway, that way of thinking seems counterproductive. Debase yourself by saying I'm just an idiot and you'll just puff up the many self-styled geniuses of the world. There's no point in standing around with your mouth open waiting for talent to fall from the sky. You make your own. No matter what you're doing, the most essential thing is to not give up. Fail as many times as it takes. Keep trying persistently until you can call yourself average. Average is just fine. You can collect a nice group of average level skills. That's already above average. You've created your own sort of talent. Being a hard worker is a talent in its own right, were my sister's words. And from that group of average skills, you can work to improve further on the things you think you are suited for. A person blessed with talent, in a manner of speaking, is just someone who found a path well suited to them early on. When you get down to it, people can accomplish nearly anything as long as they don't give up. Obvious, but it's true. On the other hand, guys who give up at the first setback will never get anything done. It's true, guys. Life lessons from Yuji. There's no need to rush. You're still a kid. You've got time. Try out anything and everything. Struggle around as much as you want. Rest my hand on Makina's head with a gentle thump. It's at just the right height for this sort of thing. That's what school is for, right? At the very least, I think the principal wants his school to be that sort of place. So might as well throw out your chest and do as many stupid things as you want, with pride. Of course, if this girl ends up doing something truly dramatically stupid, the principal will be the one facing the music, so I'm probably overstepping my bounds just a bit here. Why not? Being dumb is fine. In the first place, guys who go around calling themselves geniuses are either weaklings with fragile egos, or jokers using the line to get a laugh. And even if you were some genius, that just makes it easy to mistake yourself for a perfect human and start slacking off. Hairs like that get passed by the tourists of the world eventually. Don't get me wrong, I just wanted to try playing the nice guy for a bit. Shouldn't trust me that easily, got it? Being dumb is fine, look at the can team! Yuji is a tsundere. Spicy's a genius. How to put this? I'm not sure how I feel about being put in the same boat as that girl. Oh, Makin, I think you've got a bite? No need to rush. Slowly pull it out of the water. See? People can do anything if they try, so don't give up before you start, okay? Spicy's like, oh, instant Machina fan right here. Okay, then you should go to Amane or Sachi and see if you can find an aquarium to raise it in. Make sure only to feed it stuff without carotene. Oh, you remembered. I put my hand on Machina's head and ruffle her hair around roughly. Oh, maybe she has, like, perfect memory? But she chooses not to? Alright, better get that crawfish in water while it's still in good shape. Don't overfeed it, okay? Yep, see you later. Machina is still clutching the crawfish, waves her hands cheerfully, and takes off at full speed toward the dorms. Thanks, huh? I don't recall doing anything worthy of much gratitude, but regardless, hearing such a happy thanks feels kind of pleasant. Maybe it's because I was raised in an environment where such words were very rare. I think being able to thank others so freely is also a sort of talent. Probably seems perfectly commonplace to her, so I'm sure she's not even conscious of that skill. Sort of get the feeling, she may just be overlooking the talents she does have. I get it. I guess that's what makes her an idiot. They say that idiots don't catch colds, but it's probably more accurate to say idiots don't realize when they've caught a cold. In the same way, because Machina is an idiot, she probably is oblivious to her own abilities. Honestly, what a weird girl. Then again, weird people are rarely boring. Or so I think, basking in the peaceful, sluggish atmosphere Machina left in her wake. Hey, no doubt. The 8th of June! Then there's the real idiot of this story, Michiru! As soon as the lecturer leaves the classroom, Michiru slumps forward onto her desk. I don't know, when do you choose a route? I've only gone through 2 periods. Are you out of stamina already? Something tells me that I'm probably gonna get like a small, like, little character development arc after the initial introductions. The initial introductions happened prior to the opening, and now I'm going through the character arcs because I obviously went through Yumiko's, Amane. I still have to go through Michiru and Sachi? Is that her name? Sachiko? Yep, Sachi.
ありがとう。そうそう。料理の時いつもここだけ使い道がなくて困るのよね。
Very observant.
ってこれキャベツの芯じゃないの。何これって日頃からシャーペンの芯とか消しゴムをサチから借りてる私へのいじ
Wait, she had an actual lump of lead?
め。もしかして私実はサチに嫌われてる。
That's quite to imagine a leap in logic there. Amana's like, I'm guilty.
ほらサッチ、早く誤解を解いてあげないとチルチルが溶けてなくなっちゃうのよ。
あ、すみません。みちる様が欲しかったのはこちらですよね。
Sachi hands Michiru a new lead for a mechanical pencil.
もう頼むわよサチ。さすがの私もちょっとびっくりしちゃったじゃない。
飲みの心臓だものね。
失礼ね。いくらなんでもそこまで小さくないわよ。ハエと同じぐらいの肝玉は持ってるわよ。
That's not much better.
どうせ見栄を張るならもっとマシな生き物にしなさいよ。
なんなら試してみる？
いえ、本当に結構です。ごめんなさい。
Way to prove her right.
ねえねえサッチ、わしには負け組葉っぱちょうだい。
Loser leaves?
ルーズリーフのことだよね。はい、どうぞ、マキちゃん。
クラッチュクラッチュ。
And Makina instantly goes from thank you to sexually assaulting Sachi. Great. Great.
こらこらマキナ、教室で発情するの禁止。
邪魔が入ったようなのよさ。じゃあ続きはベッドの上で。
Makina's like, I'm going for my Yuri route while no one's looking. I'm willing to bet she saw some spy movie yesterday. But anyway, you've really got the work, Sachi.
何でもというのはどんなものでしょうか？
What?
やっぱりここって突っ込んだ方がいいの？どうだろうね。
Knowing Amane, she's gonna make me suffer. You're a unique one.
ありがとうございます。
しかもなんか褒められてるし。ねえ。
Nah. Let's see. Do you have a chisel on hand as well?
はい。
As soon as I requested, a chisel set emerges from the depths of her desk. How about a heavy-duty stapler that can handle dozens of sheets of paper at once? Standing from her desk, Sachi walks off to face a large locker in the back of the classroom. What's with that locker? It's twice the size of the others.
詰め込むものがたくさんあるさっちゃん専用ってやつ？
Personal storehouse.
それはこれのことでしょうか？
Within a few minutes, she finds the request item and brings it to me. Normally, I expect to have to go to a stationery store to get something like this.
ちょっとユージ、あんた今頃何言ってるのよ。十徳ナイフより幸を持てっていうのがこのクラスでの常識よ。
I like this dumb Michiru face. It's great. Are you saying her karate chop cuts sharper than a folding blade?
そうじゃなくて、さっちゃんはそれだけ何でも用意できるってこと。
I see. Well, considering her apparent skill and devotion, I suppose she's well prepared to deal with most requests.
まあ、その格言が生まれたのにも理由があるわけだけど、あれはあまりの暑さで教室のクーラーも故障したうだるような夏の日だったわ。
So basically, Sachi has a closet to Narnia, so she can get anything that we request. Got it.
今日は本格的に寒いわね。これじゃあセミの寿命も2割引きよ。
ねえねえチルチル、じゃあ今日のお昼は鍋にしようよ、鍋。こういう時こそ体も心もグツグツ煮えたぎるのよさ。
おお、マキナもたまにはいいこと言うじゃない。
What's with that weird laugh, Michiru?
何あれ。
さあ、暑さのせいで湧いちゃったんでしょ。
湧いちゃったって。
Yeah, it's about right.
でしょでしょ、学園で鍋ってところが飛び抜けてるでしょ。
When it's so hot that your brain just fries. Yeah, alright.
うんうん、見直した見直した。というわけでサチ、鍋セットの用意は任せたわよ。
Don't do it!
はい、わかりました。って、さすがに鍋は無理よね。ってあれ？
Should I actually?
さっちゃん、どこ行ったんだろう。
鍋をやるために必要なものを集めに行ったんでしょ。
まさか。だって私もマキナも冗談で言ってただけなのよ。
いきなりやるって言ってもきっとできっこないし。
She gotta come back. She's like, here.
私の耳には分かりましたってうなずいたように聞こえたけど。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're gonna be eating some hot soup. Hot soup. Some hot pot.
そう言われてみれば。
うなずいてたかも。最初は全員が半信半疑だった。
I like Michiru's little, like, flashback voice.
でも授業に顔を出さず4時間目の授業終了と同時に戻ってきたサチはお待たせしました。
Wait, what?
可愛く鼻水を垂らしながら土鍋セットと食材を抱えていたのよ。
Why the runny nose?
でもあの時食べたお鍋はすっごく美味しかったのよさ。
そう？マキナがお菓子入れたりするから最後はゲテモノ鍋になってた気がするけど。
Oh no, yummy nabe.
ってこらー、私が熱を入れて語ってるんだからスルーしないでよ。
Incidentally, if I said I wanted a nabe right now, would you be able to prepare things like you did before?
はい、できますけど。
Small nod, Sachi moves her gaze to the locker behind us. I see. Seems like you really might be more versatile than a Swiss Army knife.
だからあんたも部活のこと言うのをやめなさいよ。サチには冗談が通じないんだから。
Doesn't get it. Doesn't get sarcasm. That's fair. Yeah, alright, Sachi. Let's change things up this time. Get together the ingredients for flowing somen noodles.
はい、わかりました。
An instantaneous response even here.
あんた、人が注意してあげてるそばから何やってるのよ。ほら、もうサチが出て行っちゃったじゃない。
食材だから今度はスーパーかしら。
もしくは寮のキッチンね。
Not a problem. I really do want to try this.
じゃあなんで流しそうね。
You said it yourself earlier, didn't you? It's hot today, so I thought a cool meal would be best.
何よ。私のことを気にかけてくれたからって別にお礼なんて言わないんだからね。
That is the wrong time to be a tsundere, Michiru. Yeah, right. Dots. More dots. Ellipses. Okay, this looks about right. The careful check on the bamboo flume that makes up the small canal, I confirmed that the water is flowing smoothly. Having explained the gist of things to the others, I spent the last 2 periods obtaining the necessary materials and putting together a simple angled bamboo gutter on the roof. The boobs are color-coded, so you can tell the difference between the girls, obviously. What? A few minutes after lunch break begins, my classmates, excluding Sachi, emerge.
何これ？
流しそうめんの流しでしょ。
そうじゃなくて、なんでそんなものが学園の屋上にあるのかってことよ。もしかしてユウジ君が作ったの？
Yeah, there's a bamboo grove within walking distance in the direction of the mountain, so the materials weren't hard to come by.
まさか授業をサボって山で竹取りとはね。
This would be the first time I skipped class, come to think of it.
まさかあんた今まで一度も授業をサボったことなかったの？
Oops, I went through that very fast. Yep. Anyway. Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
今時珍しいじゃない。
King, you're the one that pointed it out. That's why we know this now. Also, I used most of bamboo for this thing, but when you're looking to make more intricate goods like a hamper or strainer, the more flexible Madoka bamboo is better suited to the job. If you can tell the difference between the two, it'll come in handy when you're trying to live off the mountains. Keep it in mind. Of course, Yuji knows this. Mr. like, raised in the mountains.
いや、普通女子学生が山ごもりとかする必要ないし。
Sachi was here, she'd take notes.
そうね。お待たせしました。
Sachi joins us carrying a large tote bag on her shoulder.
サッチ、ナイスタイミングだね。
Looks like you were able to find what we needed.
はい、一通りの食材は用意できました。
Now let's start preparing for the meal.
ここが余っているようだから、私はここにするわ。
とか言って、本当は楽しみにしてるから一番上流なんでしょ？
Yumiko's like, Oh, but Nagashi someone's really good.
は、流しましょうか。
それはやめておこう。ほら、カッターの葉食べたら喉切れちゃうかもしれないし。
Not just a little scratched.
か、マキボウ。私らは上流の2人が逃した面を根こそぎゲットするんえ。
了解ですぜ、姉子。
After I distribute a pair of chopsticks and a bowl of soup for the noodles to everyone, they take up their desired positions around the bamboo gutter. Seems like flowing someone is a rare experience for everyone, not just me.
それではサチ先生、第一投お願いします。はい。
Response to Michiru's yell, Sachi released a few strands of soma noodles into the waterway.
それ、キャッチ。うまい。ほらほら、そんな顔しないで。まあ、ユミコも次頑張りなさいよ。
次は絶対。
She's like, I'm gonna eat this.
ねえ、あまね。もしかしてここ、すっごく不利な位置なんじゃない？
Yeah, you don't want to be at the end of the trial, man.
大丈夫よ。たくさん流し始めたら必ずこぼれが出てくるんだから。
Oops, it was right.
というわけでサチ、次お願いね。では。やった。 ふふん、私だって。
Let's eat. By the way, King, you spelled Saiyan's wrong. It's S-A-I-Y-A-N. Saiyan. Just saying. That's a joke. Machina Amane starved to death. The end. Amane and Machina stir their empty soup bowls with hollow eyes. Because of the intense battle upstream, none of the noodles have reached their lower position. Alright then, we'll just do this. I set up another gutter that I prepared as a spare at a position below Michiru. Sachi, let's get some in this one as well.
わかりました。
これがジャパニーズ直通電車で社長さん。
Japanese direct train.
ありがとう、ユージくん。
No need to thank me. A long time ago I had it beaten into me not to waste the things I make.
へえ。
I glance to my side where Sachi is silently flowing solen noodles down the waterway. At this rate, you're not going to get any, Sachi. Alright, I'll secure your share. Scooping noodles directly from the original container, I deposit them in Sachi's bowl.
ありがとうございます。
Maki's like, we had to suffer!
そういう手段があるなら、私もユージくんから直接食べさせてもらうかしら。
Sorry, Amane, not happening yet. Pair of observant hunters are on me in seconds. Hold it, if everyone starts taking noodles directly, it's not flowing somen.
ここが私の部屋だったら、ユージくんだけに女体流しそうめんやってあげてもよかったんだけど。
Sounds unsanitary. Sexy somen, nice ring to it. Thanks, Yuji.
ちょっとアマネ、あんた いきなり何口走ってるのよ。女の武器を使った買収ってやつ？
Sounds about right.
それなら私もやるのよさ。
Machina is like a... I think that's incorrect.
もう何なのよこの子たちは。ほら、小峰さん、手が止まってるわよ。
あ、すみません。
Sachi's like, aw, this was so fun. I had to just watch.
突然授業を休みたいというから何をするのかと思えば屋上で流しそうめんとはね。
I bet she's like, oh, I want some.
季節外れの転校生だけあって考えることが違うわね。
Darn it, stop fitting a character, Yuji. That afternoon. I've heard it takes about 3 days to get a cat to take to you. The girl named Irisu Machina got attached to me even faster than that. Yes, this is the same Machina who used to flee the instant she laid eyes on me. I have no idea what changed her mind, but lately it's been quite the opposite, with her approaching me on sight. Yeah, true. Not that she's particularly talkative. After a small greeting, she tends to just tag along in silence. Want something? Of course you want to try Amane's sexy somen vanitas. Honestly speaking, getting followed around for no reason like this is a little annoying. That said, there's no reason for me to coldly shoo her away either. You don't need to go to the afternoon class? I see. In other words, she's probably just bored. The schedule at this school is divided between the core curriculum in the morning and optional courses in the afternoon. It's not rare for a few of my classmates to be lazing around by the vending machines after lunch. If you've got nothing to do, how about going back to the dorm and studying? Is what I like to say, but come to think of it, I'm also wandering around wasting my free 5th period. Guess I don't exactly have the right to lecture Machina. Want something to drink? Dig my hand around my pocket searching for small change. Holding out her right palm toward me to declare it's fine, Machina takes out something that looks like a green stuffed animal from her pocket. The vaguely frog-shaped thing seems to be a purse, as its red mouth opens with a white snap of metal bearings. After taking out a few coins, Makina buys a juice box from one of the vending machines lined up in the passage, then returns to my side. And she's just drinking it. Pulling the attached straw free with stubby, clumsy-looking fingers, Makina pierces it into the juice box and starts to slurp up the contents. Similarly, I drink quietly from my paper cup full of oolong tea. Yeah, she's like an old person. Night, King. Merry Christmas, King. True. Now we're repeating ourselves. Probably evidence that we're both puzzled over how to get a conversation started. Who was it that told me the man has to break the ice on situations like this? Of course, I'm not confident I could pull that off if I tried. What do I talk about with a girl like Makina? And good stories. 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 It's a fairly standard request, but I'm not sure where to go with this. What sort of story? A cool story. That's a bit tricky. When you're thinking for a chilling tale, I think ghost stories are the standard choice. Fortunately, I'm not lacking in that department, a legacy of the time I spent at my old school. Alright then, this is something I heard from an upperclassman at my previous school. This is the story of an American soldier who found himself on a southern island in a night flooded with lukewarm rain. The soldier was making his way south through the darkened jungle amid the pelting downpour, following a native trail with 8 companions. Their objective was an enemy anti-aircraft position. The rain had been falling for 2 days straight, leaving the ground swampy as a paddy field. The moon hidden by thick storm clouds, the soldiers couldn't even see the back of the comrade walking 2 or 3 meters ahead. The squad's nerves were already worn by the suggestive darkness of the night jungle, but the relentless rain piercing through the tree canopy, slowly sapping their endurance as well. And on top of it all, the rough map they received from the scouts was vague to the point of uselessness. Good for little, but further fueling their anxiety. As the squad trudged on at a virtual crawl through the knee-deep mud, it was inevitable that their formation grew increasingly loose. So the American soldier, a sniper bringing up the rear of the column, was desperately struggling to avoid getting separated from the rest of his unit. Eventually he heard a distinctive clacking from some distance in front of him, rising above the sound of the rain. He recognized the sound as the castanets the platoon leader carried as a means to communicate at night, or in poor visibility conditions where hand signals were impractical. The number of times he clacked indicated order to halt on the spot. The man dropped to one knee in the muddy water, grasped his rifle to his breast, and removed the lens cap from his scope, shielding it from the rain. An enemy in ambush? Lying flat on the ground, the man pressed his strong eye against the gun's sight. The back of the soldier in front of him came into view. No shots had been fired as of yet. Earlier reconnaissance had indicated there were barely any enemy troops or armed guerrillas in this area. There were enemies here. The odds were that they would be scouts, and most likely a fairly small group. As the man rested his chin in the muddy water to watch the jungle ahead, he heard the first sounds of gunfire. The enemy wasn't even 30 meters away from his squad. They practically bumped into each other. 6 lines of fire from the enemy position. Just as he thought, it seemed to be a small scouting group. Judging from the reckless way they opened fire blindly, they were probably poorly trained guerrillas who panicked after encountering their enemy under these unusual conditions. Moving his gaze from the scope, the man grasped his weapon and pulled back on the bolt handle, pushing a 7.62mm bullet into the exposed chamber. He quickly returned his dominant eye to the eye cup of his sight. The muzzle flashes visible through the scope burned white after images onto his pupil, fully dilated after his long walk in the darkness. He couldn't see the enemy, and on intuition alone he squeezed the trigger. A momentary explosion of light from his gun. He heard an enemy's grunt from the bush some 30 meters away, a hit. The man took his rifle in both hands and began to crawl on his elbows and knees in search for a new firing position. After moving about 10 meters to his left, he discovered a convenient foxhole that would serve his purpose nicely. When he swung his full body down into the hole, he found it was half full of stagnant water, just as he expected, but that fact barely registered in his mind. More importantly, from a position like this, he could snipe while hidden for a time. Sunk to the waist in the muddy water, he mechanically pulled back his rifle's bolt and squeezed the trigger, again and again and again. All of a sudden, he heard a voice from the next foxhole, since one had been occupied. "Hey, give me a grenade." In response, the man took an M67 grenade from the belt slung around his waist, held it out, the safety pin still fixed in place. White Hand reached out from the nearby trench and received it. "Thank you." The man was certain he heard those words. No matter how long the man waited, his comrade didn't throw the grenade. Maybe the safety pin was bent somehow, and couldn't get it loose. "Hey, you okay?" As the man was speaking those words, he started to move his head to look above the edge of his encampment. At that moment, the grenade exploded in the next foxhole. Oh, snap. Good. Explosion at point-blank range isn't something you hear. The overpowering waves of sound aren't recognized by your ears as noise. A mass of burning air struck the man like a wall, knocking the helmet off his head and thrusting his body backwards into the muddy pool. His mouth thrown open by the explosion was instantly filled with filthy water. As the man desperately tried to spit it out, he realized his tongue had been knocked back into his throat. He couldn't breathe. Quickly thrusting his hands into his mouth, the man peeled his tongue free with his fingers, powerfully vomited out the water together with the breath that had gathered in his lungs. His throat was burning from inhaling the explosion's scorching wind, and he couldn't stop the tears that were pouring down his face. His head felt like it had taken a direct hit from a fastball made of concrete, and his ears were filled with high-pitched ringing. "Hey, you alright? Get it together." Curled up in the muddy water with his head in his hands, the man heard the voice of a comrade. At least his eardrums hadn't shattered. He felt himself being dragged up out of the foxhole by both arms. "Got to move. Temporary withdrawal. Can you walk?" It took all the man's effort to nod his head. He couldn't see. His ears were barely functional. His throat was on fire. He couldn't even speak. The man began to run his hands across the ground in panic. His comrades knew what he was looking for. The man felt his rifle pressed back into his hands. Reassured by the familiar feeling of his weapon, the man slung it onto his shoulder, his hands still clutching the ground. Fled that place at a crawl. Had 30 minutes passed, when the man came to himself, the rain had, ironically enough, finally stopped. His vision had largely recovered. When he looked around, he saw his companions, all just as filthy with mud. "Hey, Shorty, you still alive?" Sniper was still scurrying along the ground when that voice called to him. It belonged to a black man who joined the army at the same time as him. They'd been in the same squad in their training days as well. The black man was his closest friend in the platoon. His greeting was casual as always. "Give me a break." The man re-shouldered his beloved rifle and told his friend about the hand grenade accident. That voice from the next foxhole, the grenade handed over in response. Moments later, the explosion. The man angrily spat out the details of his brush with death through another stupidity. The black man listened in silence. When the story was over, after a brief pause, he finally spoke. "What the hell are you talking about, Shorty?" None said his story was impossible. Come to think of it, of course it was. The man was the unit's birdman, the rear guard, the end of the line. Usually the birdman marched 10 to 20 meters behind the squad. There was no way an ally would have been encamped only 2 or 3 meters from his position. Even considering his movements to change his firing position, couldn't have met anyone until the unit broke into retreat. I mean, let's say you're right and some jackass dropped a grenade in his own foxhole, okay? Who was that? When the man looked around his surroundings, all 8 of the squad's other men were accounted for. They were lightly wounded, but clearly none of them had been on the receiving end of a grenade blast recently. So... oh, oops. So who the hell did you give that grenade to? There you go. In response to his friend's words, a shiver ran down the man's spine. After joining the main force and completing his report, the man told his story to a grizzled veteran. Sergeant Major had an explanation of sorts for him. That place is right around the site of an old battle where many Americans died. Among them were many wounded who'd been cruelly, slowly butchered by guerrillas with spears and bayonets. Some who had reached the grades on their waist and pulled out the pin rather than being tortured to death. So in the end, who had taken the man's grenade? Wow, that was a really long story. Need a new phone? Yeah, that's a good story. Perhaps a lingering spirit still clutching to the battlefield, even in death. Or so the story went. What do you think? Get a bit of chill? Oh, sorry about that. Forget it. My bad.
今度お話をするときはもうちょっと楽しいお話にして。
Yeah, got it. Makina throws her empty juice box into a trash can and starts to patter away. As usual, she leaves as quickly as she arrives. But this time, after walking about 3 meters, Makina stops on the spot and turns back to me.
ねえ、お兄ちゃん。
What?
お兄ちゃんは死後の世界ってあると思う？
It's a good question. Life after death, Can't say for sure since I've never experienced it firsthand. If you believe in it, then maybe there is. In the army, there's a popular story about an afterlife exclusively for soldiers. It's a story you'll find in the armed forces of pretty much any country, in pretty much identical form. If you believe an afterlife is waiting for you, it will be. I'm sure it's something like that.
そっか。ありがとう。じゃあまた。
With those words, she runs off, this time without looking back. I don't think I said anything particularly interesting, but hearing words of thanks naturally lightens my mood anyway. Drinking up the remaining oolong tea with a gulp, I throw the empty cup into a trash bin and walk off towards our classroom for the 6th period class. That was a good story, guys. And now it's the 9th. Oh, man. And, I think we'll cut it off here. We haven't actually gotten to decision point time, and while I did decide via dice roll, I figured that I'll give another shot for people. So, you know, if you want to leave a comment, or send me a tweet, or even message me on Discord or something on who you want as the route choice again, feel free to. Looks like we still have more to go through in this beginning build-up portion, but for now, this is animefanrk2k. Thank you very much for watching today's Monday night live stream. Christmas and all. Merry Christmas, Merry Nutmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. And I'll see you guys next time, next week, for another Monday night live stream. See ya!